Hello and welcome to this lesson where we introduce you to the fundamentals of eye makeup. If you are new to Makeup Fundamentals, my name is Hannah and I'm part of the education team here at Mecca. Now we could talk about eye makeup forever and a day, but in today's lesson we want to break down the basics so you have a really great understanding of different eye product formulas, how to shape your eye to make it the most flattering to you, and give you different tips on applications so that you can really adjust these techniques to create lots of different eye looks. So let's talk eye product. Now there are three key elements to creating any eye look: eyeliner, eyeshadow, and mascara. You may use one of them, you may use two of them, you may use all of them. But when you nail these three elements, you can create lots of different eye looks. You can take something simple into something really dramatic and bold. Let's start with eyeliner. Now, eyeliners are great for adding shape and definition into the eye, and they're also great if you want to have a little bit of fun. So breaking down the different liner options. You would opt for a pencil if you want something that's easy to use, quite versatile, and gives you more of that soft, diffused, smoked out look. Gel eyeliners are really high in pigment, so they're great for creating that depth of color. They're also quite flexible in terms of you can smoke them out and have them as a base for a smoky eye, or they can create that soft definition. Then I would opt for a liquid liner if you're really focused on precision and creating that perfect cat eye. Now moving on to eyeshadow. So there's two formulas that we're going to discuss today: creams and powders. Creams are great if you want something really quick and easy that you don't necessarily need a brush to apply. I really like to use these as a base to layer powder shadows on top, but you can also just wear them on their own. Then we move on to powder shadows. Now these will give you the most versatility in terms of color. You can go for something that's quite subtle, you can go something quite bold. This also allows you to play with texture and finish. You can go for a really flat matte, you can go for a soft shimmer, or you can go for something that's all out glitter sparkle. Now the finishing touch to any eye look is mascara. Now again, mascara, we have to think about what is the overall effect we want it to create on our lash. Do we want something that's volumizing to create drama in the eye? Do we want something that's a little bit more lengthening to just enhance the natural look of the lash? Another thing to think about is, how does your mascara normally wear? If you suffer from smudging or crumbling of your mascara, maybe you might want to opt for a tubing formula that's really going to hold onto the lash. Or if you are someone that can't seem to hold a curl in their lash, then you would opt for a waterproof formula. Now we've talked about product, but the easiest way to understand it is to see it in action. So let's get our models in. So we are going to be working through the three elements of creating your eye look. And the first thing we're going to focus on is creating shape. So Sylvia, when you do your eye makeup, or when you shape your eye, what kind of shape do you like?
I like a shape that's sort of almond shape and sort of lifting up.
Lifting up. Beautiful. Excellent. So when you're shaping your eye, you want to imagine a straight line running through the middle of your eye. Where you place color is going to draw that area out. So because Sylvia wants to keep that almond shape, but she also wants lift, we're going to be placing our shape along this way and giving the eye a little bit of a lift. So because we're bringing the eyes out, we're placing the color on the outside. If you wanted to bring the eyes a little bit closer together, you'd place your color towards the inner part of the eye. If you wanted to build your eyes up, then you would place the color more towards the top of the eye. So just close your eye for me. I'm doing this with a shadow pen. You could do this with a powder shadow. I just like these cream shadow sticks because I find them really nice and easy to use. So I'm pulling the color up and out and just buffing it onto the lid. To buff this out, I'm using just a small domed shadow brush. I'm using this brush because it's dense enough that it will move the product around, and I find synthetics are really great to use with creams. So as you can see, we've really started to create that lift with just one color. Shaping the eye can be a really powerful tool. You could add a little bit of mascara and leave that there for an easy everyday look, or you could continue to build out the shape and build on the definition with a powder or an eyeliner. You can shape your eye however you like, whatever you think suits your eye shape. I would definitely encourage you to have a play, try something new. I think it can be really easy to get a little bit stuck in a rut and shape your eyes in the same way, but you may find with having a little bit of an experiment, you fall in love with something new. So let's add a little bit more definition. Now, definition is a great way to intensify the look. It can be a great way to add volume to the lash line and make the lashes themselves look thicker. Sylvia has a nice amount of space between her lashes and her crease, so we will do a little bit of liner on top. But a great tip if you don't have a lot of space, like myself for example, is I really like to tight line, which is adding a little bit of liner just to the fleshy part under your lashes. This is going to make the lashes look thicker without taking up too much of that space. So as you can see, adding that little bit of tight line has just made the lashes look a little bit more voluminous and just given a little bit more definition to the eye. So we're going to add to the lift and add a bit more definition by going in with a gel pencil. And I'm just going to smudge that along the lash line. If you are new to eyeliner, this technique is great because you get the definition without having to be super precise like you do with a liquid liner. So as you can see, we have our shape and we have some definition. Now we want to add a little bit of light and shade, so almost contouring the eye. So anything that we want to bring forward, we want to use a lighter color. Anything that we want to push back, we want to use a deeper color. Now, Sylvia already has quite a defined crease, so if I add more shadow into there, it's only going to push it further back. I don't want to do that. I want to bring the eyes a little bit more forward. So I'm going to use a lighter shade on a flat packing brush. And I'm just going to pop that along the lid, just close for me. I'm using pressing motions to pat that on. And now if I want to intensify that, I can use a little bit of a shimmer shade. And this is just going to give a little bit more light to the eye and add a little point of difference. Now I'm using my finger to press this on. I like to use my finger when I'm using more sort of glittery or shimmer shadows because I find that it limits the fallout and you can be really precise with where you place it. So as you can see with these 3 different levels, the sky's really the limit. You could intensify the liner, make it a little bit darker. You could add more shadow to add more contrast. You could easily turn this into a smoky eye. Just by adding a little bit of extra shadow, we've turned this into a little bit more of an elongated smoky eye. We could add more liner and really intensify the cat eye look to this. Once you have your shape, your definition, and then your shades, you can do anything. And so finally adding some mascara. Now how you shape your eye can continue with how you apply your mascara. Because we're elongating Sylvia's eye, I'm focusing the mascara on the outer third. If I wanted to make her eyes look more rounded and doll-like, I'd focus the mascara in the center. By focusing on the elements of shape, definition, and light and shade, we've taken one eye look and bumped it up by adding more shadow and a little bit more liner. Super easy to do. Have a little look, Sylvia, what do you think?
It looks great.
So with all of those pieces, do you think this is something you could recreate at home?
Definitely.
Excellent. And that brings us to the end of eyes. In this lesson, we have discussed the 3 key elements to creating an eye look. We have talked through how to create different shapes and also given you lots of tips on application. We have only just scratched the surface of what's possible, but with these techniques, we encourage you to go forth and play, experiment with color and texture and shape. If you have more questions, we can also encourage you to head into store and speak to a Mecca team member, jump onto the website, or stay exactly where you are and explore our makeup masterclasses on MECCAversity. I will see you next time. Bye.